Hey, this is Logan Decker, editor-in-chief of PC Gamer, and E3 2013 is just around the corner, so we're hanging out today to talk about what we're looking forward to most about the show. With me today are Evan Lottie, Tyler Wilde,
Hello.
and Mr. Corey Banks.
Hey.
Gentlemen, what's got you excited about this year's E3?
Well, I saw it last year, but Arma 3 is transitioning from alpha into beta. Hasn't been played in beta yet, so I'm going to get to do that at the show floor. Going to get to see Daisy standalone, kind of hopefully hands-on for the first time. Going to talk to Bohemia's CEO. So those are the games I'm really excited about the most. In terms of a dark horse, I guess Payday 2 is definitely on my radar. I played the first one, really liked their concept, but didn't like its execution as much. And I'm really curious to see how they respond to feedback, hopefully improving the gunplay, hopefully adding some new mechanics. But, really cool game that I think they'll get it right the second time.
Yeah, we keep hearing the phrase heist simulator, which just has a great feeling to it.
Right.
As a thing that we might want. Looking at the trailers, it definitely looks interesting. Yeah, I hope it is a heist simulator.
I'm all about heist simulation.
Or at least has aspects of that.
More like planning. I mean, ideally it's a Rainbow Six style planning system or something. I don't want to get my hopes up.
Sure.
We'll see.
It's all the fun of crime without the nasty side effects like incarceration.
Yeah.
I'm way more excited than I thought I would be about the new Wolfenstein game. And I'm excited to see what Bethesda's going to show off there. If it's going to feel like Wolfenstein or if it's something that can maybe, bring new life to the IP.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've tried it before. I've actually tried it multiple times, but I cannot get enough of putting the Oculus Rift on my head.
Right.
Yeah.
And looking around and going, oh my God, it works.
Yeah, this anticipation of what's this experience going to be like this time when I put it on? Is it like I remembered it? Because we don't have a dev kit, so we get to kind of play with one once every convention or industry gathering. Yeah. And it's just, you want to see how far it's come since the last time you tried it. Like the first time I tried it was like the duct tape skiing goggles version with Doom 3, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And the second time I tried it was CCP made a dogfighting game, a space game that they showed off in Iceland. So I tried it then, and I was like, well, this is twice as interesting as that Doom thing. So yeah, I want to see what people are making specifically for it, more than I don't know if I want to play a first-person shooter on it, one that at least wasn't designed originally for it. But I'd like to see what are people doing with this technology in mind. Can I swim through an ocean and look at little fishies? Or we were talking yesterday about how great a planetarium would be, and it's not really a game, but what interesting things can you show me with this that aren't a first-person shooter where my look is mapped to my turning, which feels strange.
Mm-hmm. We were just talking earlier about how the resolution of the Oculus Rift is pretty low, but that doesn't translate how you think it would, because it actually looks fantastic when you're inside. It's not like playing a game at 800 by 600 or something like that. But it's just funny that I'm so excited, so thrilled about how well it works and how good it looks, and yet this is a first gen product.
It's not even the consumer version.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm thinking everything I'm so excited about right now, in 5 years, we're going to be looking back and going, that was amazing. Yeah. And yet it is. This is the moment when, something we've been promised over and over and over again.
Since the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, seriously, is actually being done.
Yeah, just watch out. There's a Lawnmower Man kind of scenario. But it does worry me a little bit. Other games and other hardware products are being funded based on the hype for the Oculus Rift, which is not a consumer product yet.
Right.
So it's a little bit scary to see basically a burgeoning VR industry come up overnight over excitement for something that, like we said, we've tried it and does work impressively well, but it hasn't been tested, on the market yet. So.
Well, it kind of speaks to the promise of the technology, right?
Yeah, people really want this.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
I would be really interested to see if they announce even more developer support at E3 as well.
Yeah.
Who they're bringing on, who else they have excited, what we can look forward to in the next couple of years.
I think the big game I'm curious if we're going to see is Fallout. I mean, Bethesda has been, they've revealed some stuff in the past year. It seems like, with a new console generation, a Fallout is definitely going to be coming this year or next year at the very least. Beyond that, though, I'm absolutely expecting Telltale to reveal the second season of The Walking Dead.
Absolutely.
I think now's the time for them. You know, they've sort of been teasing something. They did like a Vine earlier this week, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Which seemed like it's related to The Walking Dead, although it's kind of unclear. And yeah, I mean, we talked about this a lot in the podcast. Like, what is the second season going to look like? There's so many different ways they could take it. Is it going to be the original cast in a different way, like totally new set of characters?
Will it continue to focus on narrative, or will it add more gameplay elements?
Yeah, that's a good question too.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what they do with that. I'd also like to see what they do if they're showing the Fables game that they've been working on. If they'll maybe take some of the things that they've learned from that and add that to The Walking Dead, which was their big, huge success.
Certainly. Yeah. Any other big games you're looking forward to, guys?
I want another peek at the Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like that game is getting so much nurturing right now, and it looks fantastic. I love the way the people move. The animations are done well.
Yeah, the mocapping is great. Something Ubisoft just seems to be good at, just intrinsically.
Right, and usually, you know, motion capping to me almost feels less real than animation because it gets closer to the to movement, but at the same time doesn't. You know, it's in that uncanny valley territory, and I really haven't felt that with any Watch Dogs demo yet. And just, you know, the promise, of course, of being able to hack into everything and, you know, mess with traffic signals and break into people's networks and, you know, again, all the promise of crime without the unpleasant side effects.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, there are some great little, like, details to the animation, like the way the hero will sort of, when he's trying to be incognito, will hold his gun behind his back while he's kind of running.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool stuff like that, yeah. And it's the uncanny part for me was like how the fidelity of the world and how it kind of felt like this big stage play that was being put on for me. Whereas GTA feels like just silly to me. Like, I know all the pedestrians are just there to fill space and walk down the sidewalk. But there were moments in the demo I saw for Watch Dogs where I was like, wow, it really does feel like all these people are going somewhere and doing something. But then I started to get the weird feeling of like, wait, no, they're not. This is all just like, everything I'm seeing is just this elaborate, you know, production, like a Truman Show kind of feeling. But maybe that paranoia is good for the game since its theme is like, you know, surveillance and Big Brother and all that.
Right. And it's funny, ever since, and I'm pretty sure there's a correlation here, ever since I saw, I think, the second demo, I've just been more aware of how everywhere you see cameras now. Everywhere you go, in elevators, you see them in parking lots, you see them in hallways, and I'm just amazed. Like, I'm wondering, if I were to walk from one end of San Francisco to the other, you know, would you be able to capture like 90% of my path?
Who's going to be able to track you?
You know, just on those all those cameras and stuff like that. Obviously, you know, they can clue into where my, you know, cell phone is, you know, by using the GPS signal. But it's just amazing how much coverage there is.
Hearing all this is really interesting because, you know, when Watch Dogs was initially revealed was it E3 last year?
I believe it was.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yes, it was at Ubisoft's conference, and we were all pretty skeptical.
We were super skeptical. We're like, we didn't have a sense of whether or not it was a sandbox, and it just kind of shows like how one good demo can make a great impression on you. I think we're going to walk away with, hopefully, more of those experiences where we're uncertain about a game and then we get a chance to really get our hands in there.
It's fun. It's fun to be a bit excited at the potential of an idea. Right. Obviously, it's more fun to see it realized, and, you know, we don't know yet exactly how Watch Dogs will turn out when we've seen the whole thing. They're keeping the story almost completely under wraps. At least they didn't tell me anything about it. They just showed sort of non-story stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I want to see more demos like that leave me going, no, they can't be promising that because that's too much. And then obviously I want to see them deliver on it. I want Prey 2. Speaking of demos, which promised a lot, and then didn't pan out, was Prey 2. And I keep thinking about it. I keep going back to it in my head. Like, that was a really cool demo. Will that ever happen? Will it be renamed? I don't know. I know Ubisoft has unannounced titles coming. I know Bethesda certainly probably also has unannounced titles coming, like you mentioned, Fallout. So maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe they won't call it Prey 2.
Yeah, the Skyrim team hasn't been working on anything for at least a few months. Officially.
I'd be kind of surprised, though, because Bethesda has a big plate already at E3. A lot of stuff to promote. You know, there's The Evil Within, there's Elder Scrolls Online and all that. And so I'd be Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I'd be kind of surprised if they threw another bomb in there. But I'm really hoping they do.
And we know Doom isn't going to be shown. I mean, that's
Right.
a certainty, I think. But them saying recently,
And now
it's
as you
gonna be
said it,
ripped.
they're going to show it. It's going to be their surprise.
It'll be an amazing surprise. Anyway, all 4 of us will be on the show in Los Angeles next week, reporting there. Go read our coverage on PCGamer.com and tune into our next video tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about how we expect E3 2013 to affect PC gaming itself. Thanks for watching.